This is the Newsload.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, it's been weeks.
Right? It's been a while, but not really. Sorry, I'm in a hotel room right now. I'm in St. John,
Of a tourist. So St. John, like
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Wow.
Yes.
What's the weather like out there?
It's quite nice. It's cold, but it's nice. I'm looking out the window now and I see sun, and there's no snow, but it's chilly. It's chilly. I'm headlining the comedy club Punchlines, which is really fun. Last night we had the first show and it was an absolute blast. Also, how lucky is this? Nikki Payne is hosting. Isn't that like, yeah, I could not, I'm so jazzed. And we had breakfast together early this morning. So
you're early risers, you're responsible women. You're not drinking till the early morn.
No, and I'm not an early riser. I'm not. And I rose early so that I could be with her and catch up with her because we haven't seen each other in so long. So it was really, really nice.
So I thought she retired. She's back.
She doesn't do it as much. She's got tons of other things on the go, busier than I am, that's for sure. But she's always in demand, which is nice. She can do what she wants when she wants to, and luckily she said yes to hosting, and it's an all women's show. It was just really fun. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I think it'll be good times.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm so happy. And you had breakfast and now you're going to have a nap and then you're going to go to the show. Yeah.
I'm going to have a nap and then I have another Zoom for a show, like an animated show I'm working on. So it's a jam-packed Zoom day. And then I go do the show. So it's good. It's good.
Okay. So I have to start with the interview because
yes. Do it.
I have
Sorry.
questions. No,
okay.
Don't apologize. I'm so excited about this wonderful news about, my darling Laurie on the road. So where were you born?
I was born in Montreal.
Okay. So
yeah,
not a Frenchie.
No. I mean, my dad can speak French, my mom a bit, but my mom's from Winnipeg, and we left before. My sister's she was very good at speaking French, but we left before I ended up in like a more immersive French school. So we moved to Ontario when I was quite young.
Is that what fascinates you about writing, is being bilingual and such?
Oh, no, because I'm not. I'm not bilingual at all. I'm terrible at French. I'm very bad. I wish I knew it more. I wish I was better at it. But I'd like to be, but no, I'm not that great at the Francais. And I think of comics like Martha Chavez, who can do comedy in English, Spanish, and French. How do you?
Because they're all Latin to her.
It blows my mind.
Because jeans are jeans, but then it's like feminine or masculine, and then just keep going. But she knew Spanish first, right? So English, yes. Impossible, and then French is just a walk in the park, just a little bit more political.
Yes, yeah. But to be able to tell jokes and the nuances that come along with them, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and being able to make sense too, because sometimes it gets lost in translation, literally. So that's very exciting. So do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I have a brother, Andrew, who lives out in Victoria, and he has for 20 something years now. And then I had an older sister named Erin, who passed away a week before Christmas in 2017.
That's harsh. It's harsh.
Yeah.
Your baby sister?
Older.
Yeah,
that was very bad. It was a very bad time. Very, very bad.
And it must be rough for your whole family. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, it happens. It was cancer, and it happens. there's no rhyme or reason for it, but it just happened to hit our family, and you don't expect it. Then you just have to deal with it and the consequences of it. And you really learn a lot about yourself and what your deficits are and what your better qualities are in times of that kind of trauma.
And also who your friends are, who's calling you, who's checking in on you,
Yes.
who actually cares about you, and who just wants you to dance, monkey.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. There are some people who understand a lot of times because they've been there before, and they know the path intimately. And then there are other people you can't blame them. They just don't, they can't understand it because they haven't processed that kind of grief before.
And they also live in their own bubble and don't understand that other people have their bubbles, and their bubbles are grieving right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just makes you more aware of other people, and to give them space if they, or to allow them, if they're having a bad day, to just say, maybe they've got something going on.
Yeah, man. Maybe they're just not being a bitch because you suck. They're being a bitch because they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
Really, really bad day. Like, I think my least favorite funeral, well, I have a couple funeral experiences that I hate, if you don't mind if I talk to you about it.
No.
They're not funny whatsoever.
I know. But let's have a light conversation. And get right into
about our funeral experiences. Well, I think the worst experience for me was planning my father's funeral.
Oof,
getting yelled at on many occasions, and it was just like, what the fuck? And then the next thing was going to a high school girlfriend's brother's funeral. So, just a friend of the family, being there to support, and running into my ex-stepmother's ex-husband's brother.
Oh my gosh. How do I even fall?
Like him, like a twin of the ex-husband kind of thing. And it's just like the ex-stepmother, and emotions and death. And like, I knew the brother because we went to high school together. And, it's just like, I was a shitty person that day. And, I have to admit that I'm not perfect and funny every day. And that was a bad day.
Nobody is.
And death and funerals do that to me.
Well, they would. Yeah, it's understandable. It's the most emotional times are during death, and also your happiest moments. So it's the same kind of emotion on a different side of the spectrum.
It's extreme life and death, which is, really our journey and what we're doing every day in between it. So back to more fun
comedy
stories about life. You're married, aren't you? You're like a rare comedian who is straight and in a healthy long
term,
like with a civilian.
Yes. Well, it's weird because he's a chef. So
he's not a civilian, he's a madman.
Yeah, our businesses are quite similar. It's
yelling at everybody. Like, is he the boss?
He was the boss, but an excellent. That's how I fell in love with him, because I was bartending. It's a classic love story. I'm bartending. He's the executive chef, and so I got to watch how he worked.
And would he sneak you treats?
Sometimes. And sometimes I would sneak him treats.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So we met that way. And then I left.
You were comrades. You were his bar wench.
I'm the bar wench. He's the chef wench. He gave me way better treats. I'll tell you that. But we've been together for, I think it's going to be 23 years in
Holy
September.
Moly.
Yeah. It's a
and
long
you're happy?
time. Yeah. I'm very, very lucky to have him. He's an excellent person. And I make fun of him on stage a lot, but he lets me. I always get permission. He's usually the one that says, you can use that, And I'm just like, yeah. So he's hilarious. He's very, very funny.
He can laugh at himself. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have your ups and downs. Every relationship does. So that's just how it is. But he's a really, really wonderful person.
How are you skinny and married to a chef, though? I don't like this.
I'm a vegetarian and he teaches butchery. So that's
murders a pig in front of you, and then you're like, I'm good for the rest of the day, and my anxiety and my trauma will keep me.
no, it's I don't eat meat, and he'll come home from work and be like, I had a really good class today. We broke down a beef shoulder or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shaved the beef cheek and had a little beef tongue, and we sous vide it and beat it with hammers. It was artistic, you know.
It was artisanal, 100% artisanal beef cutting today. And then there's sausage week. Sausage week
God.
is always the best because everybody just giggles because you're literally stuffing this like weird condom thing full of sausage.
But it's not even a condom thing. It's literally an intestine tube. It's yeah. But
it looks like a condom. Everybody giggles.
It looks like a condom, and they look like dicks, and we all love wieners, and
they go around and it's fun. He gets a kick out of it because he keeps a very straight business-like face. And he'll be like, "What are you laughing at?"
Yeah.
And then he'll just keep going. Yeah, he's funny. He should have his own cooking show because he's very funny.
So does he just hold you as you shiver and you laugh? Like, is this how it goes?
I just tell him, don't talk to me about your day butchering. Just tell me about other things.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. But it is quite funny that he's full on carnivore. And I'm like, no.
So do you have like a meat fridge and a veggie fridge, or like sections? Like
no, but we did. So before one of my best friends, she moved to Bali and has been there for a few years now. But she was steward. It sounds really weird, but we called her the meat date. And her name is Sue. And we would go out for dinner, the three of us, because Sue loves meat. And Stu, my husband, loves meat. And I don't eat it. So we would go out together and they would order meat entrees and talk about how delicious it was. And so they would have something to talk about. And he could enjoy the meat. She would understand it and she would enjoy it too. And I just sit there having whatever, like French fries and a grilled cheese or the non-meat items. But just the fact that she was the meat date makes it sound like we're a throuple, but no. It was strictly what's the word? Non-sexual.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but ASMR and food and stuff can be sexual, you know, like with the moaning and the groaning and the fulfillment and the deliciousness, and it can be very sexual.
I don't want that. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that because I'm not into those kind of like and then I don't even like watching. I don't even like the noise that people make when they're kissing.
Oh yeah, the slurping.
Oh,
it's fun.
Oh God.
My worst is listening to people slurping noodles very loudly, and in some cultures, they're encouraged to breathe for more slurping, you know, like wine tasting kind of thing. It's horrific. It's absolutely atrocious. And I feel we should make a law against it, but then I'm a Karen and then there's problems.
Exactly. You're going to, then all of a sudden it's not the best.
You know, I got to get that weird haircut. It becomes a whole culture that I'm not ready for yet, you know, but
nobody wants to be a Karen. And I mean, if you grow up and that's how you eat, then that's how you eat. Which
do you feel people who don't pick up their feet when they walk are lazy, horrible people and shouldn't be spoken to with any form of effort?
I've never noticed that.
Oh my God. When I see somebody walking by dragging their feet, you know, and their shoes or their flip-flops are going, I'm like, I don't
No.
want to know any part of your soul because you can't pick up your feet when you walk. You obviously can't make a meeting on time. You can't, pay attention to my conversation. You probably are slack jawed. We can't be friends. I'm sorry. I have limits. Pick up your feet when you walk.
I've got to pick up my feet then next time I'm around you, because I
No.
think I do that
No, you
with
don't.
flip-flops.
You just sort of hover in the corner couch and don't talk to anybody.
I do. That is me. The isolator,
The
yeah.
sober one.
Yes.
The
Yes.
designated driver, which is my favorite. That's why
Yeah. Yeah. We've been on the road.
So let's get back to the interview. So do you consider
Okay.
yourself an influencer?
No. Don't do anything I do. Don't follow my decisions. Just don't.
Don't listen, don't approve, don't agree.
No, just don't. I do not make good decisions. I don't want to influence anybody with my decisions. It's not going to end well. So, I mean, I wish I could be one, but I just don't have I'm terrible at social media and I'm just getting worse. And I just can't make good decisions.
Okay. Noted.
No, and maybe one day I'll give it a go, and then I'll be like, Carrie Ann, I've become an influencer.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I consider you an influencer because I, in high school and in college, would watch you on Much Music. And we must talk about this because I don't know if people even know about, your fame and fabulousness of your Much Music experience. So please tell the audience how you got on Much Music in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
A long time ago. I think just because in comedy, everybody knows everybody. It might have been Trevor Boris who gave someone my number or contact information, because it was a producer that contacted me. The show was already doing really great. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And so they send you the videos that you're gonna, goof around with. And it was just a really fun way that's how I got on. And then I would do it once in a while. I was never just like a main cast type of person, but I would do it whenever they asked me. And it was a really fun time because I like to just goof around.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite things.
You could tell that you were having fun criticizing the videos and such and having that kind of fun. Did you get to work with like Rick the Temp, Ed the Sock, all the guys?
No, because you're by yourself with the producer and the camera. I think the producer sits there while you're doing what you're doing, and then there's a person on camera and sound. So you really don't know what other people have done or said, and you just do your thing, and then they cut it together. And they always did a great job. But then when you have talent like, Deborah DiGiovanni and Nikki and Trevor and everybody, you're going to have a great show no matter what. So yeah, that's how it happened. So I would never consider myself a famous person because of that, because I don't get recognized. Maybe once in a while, and that's it.
Well, when you would come to the London Yuck Yucks, I would lose it because and
that's so nice.
I guess the problem is, when you're stuck in Lucan and you only have like 3 channels to watch because, back in the 90s and 2000s and everything, and even in college, when I was in Humber College and such, my dorm, I didn't have cable. It was just literally just,
Yep. the channels,
the 4 channels that you get kind of thing through dorm living and such. But so funny. I found you one of the funniest. What were you, a judge of the video on trial kind of thing? And being able to watch you for, I don't want to say decades, but it has
been
decades that you.
I'm so tired. It has been.
Still going and still on the road and still doing the tours and still doing the show and still hilarious. How do you stay inspired? How do you keep writing new jokes?
Well, I'm not the most prolific joke writer. So I kind of wait, just things that happen, everyday stuff. I'm not very disciplined. I'm disciplined when it comes to writing for animation and writing like deadlines and all that kind of stuff. Very disciplined in that way. But then when it comes to my stuff, it's more just if I see something funny, if there's a funny experience, that's how my comedy kind of is. It's just it's my interpretation of a weird situation. And I guess that is what inspires me. But then I will also get on a Zoom with, say, Christine Von Hagen, and we'll go over jokes and stuff because she's an amazing joke writer. Whereas I'm not a good joke writer. I can tell stories and it's not that I rely on being wacky and neurotic. I just am. I am a neurotic person who has social anxiety. It's not an act. It's not. It's just me nervously doing my thing. So it all just kind of, if it happens in my head and I can get it out on a stage a bunch of times, I'm really excited. And if it works. If it doesn't work, then it's not the best time.
That's the judge and jury of it all that you continue to love is, you try something. If it doesn't work, okay, let's try it again. If it doesn't work again, okay, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work, or maybe I need to work on it. And calling your friends, being able to, it takes a village, man, being able to have your girlfriends and your comedy buddies and people that you trust that are in it for best interests.
Yes.
They want you to grow and feel better knowing that, hey man, we're all helping each other. And if I'm in a situation and I can call you and be able to get information and jokes, I know not to call you.
Yeah. You're not gonna get the best joke advice from me, but you might get something weird for a tag. Who knows?
But you're definitely an excellent designated driver because I got home safe and sound.
See, that's good. That's good. I love driving. I do love driving.
You're very good at it. You do, sit right at the wheel though.
I breastfeed the steering wheel, as my husband would say. Yeah. I like being all close. And my husband gets so upset when I've been driving because I never put the seat back and he cannot get in the car when I've been driving because it looks like I've truly had my tits through the steering wheel as it's just how I like it. I've had so many tickets. I've lost my driver's license, but I love driving.
Do you not pay attention? What's happening? Why are you getting tickets? And you're just speeding. You're just a speed demon.
I've had so many tickets. I've had many speeding tickets. I've had running red light tickets. I have had not having my seatbelt on tickets. And the worst one was I did this show. John Doerr and Mark Forward used to do this show called Turkey Battle at the Rivoli. And it was just go and do your weirdest shit. So am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Okay. So go and do that. And I did this character where what was I called? I called myself McGillicuddy. And I'd come out and I would do like a setup punchline joke that was bad because I can't write jokes. So it was bad. And then on the punchline, the sound guy would play football, like touchdown music. And then a mascot would come out. And I used this giant shark costume that I got at Malabar. It cost me $100 to rent it. So it was a full on mascot shark. And then I think the first one, I only did it twice. I think the first one, maybe John was in the costume. One of them was in the costume. And then I do the punchline and then they would run out and it would be like touchdown, and then they'd run back off, and I'd tell another joke, punchline, touchdown music, they come out. So it was really dumb. And the next morning I had to take that costume back right away, or I would be charged for another day. So I get in the car. It's early in the morning. I had to take my dog to the daycare. So my dog's in the back, and then there's a giant shark head beside me in the passenger seat. And what do? I pass a school bus and I get pulled over. I'm not used to driving at that early in the morning. And I didn't know what to do because I was beside the bus when the sign came out. I'm beside it. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I go? Do I wait beside the bus? And the guy ahead of me went. So I went. I get pulled over. The police officer comes to the car, and my dog's barking. There's this giant shark head beside me. And I'm all, is this bad? And he just goes, there's kids. And then he gives me a ticket for $460. And I start crying like that. The tears come out of my eyes at him. And he's just like, fight it, fight it, fight it. And I'm like, why are you giving it to me? And then you're telling me to fight it. Why don't you just not give it to me? And it was all, I wrote it, just fight it. And I did. I fought it. And apparently I wasn't supposed to get it.
Because they sometimes have carbon copies and stuff, and they can't just be like, I already filled it out. Like my chief will get me.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble, you weirdo.
With your shark passport.
You should have given me a ticket for anything. Could have given me a ticket for anything else, like driving like a freak or something, because I've got a circus in my car. But no. And the lights weren't flashing. That was what. No, the lights weren't flashing.
If goes out. You don't need flashing lights. You ADHD.
Stop! Literally, truly, there was a stop sign, and I was a stop sign. I'd better go. And then I got pulled over. But
you could get the child. Like basically, they run in front of the bus to go home, and you run them over, and it's very bad. And you're such a statistic. It's hilarious. Okay.
It was not my fault, though. I'm telling you, it was not my fault.
You were driving the car.
I know, but I was beside the bus when the sign went out, and there was a guy ahead of me also beside the bus, and neither of us knew what to do. So he just went, and then I went because I was like, I maybe have to go because no kids were doing anything. I'm trying to justify it in my head, obviously.
You bought it and then you didn't have to pay it.
Yeah.
So you're fine. It's fine. It was a $460 maybe, but you're excellent at arguing, obviously.
I didn't even go to court.
What happened?
The guy phoned me and said, I hired a paralegal, like a ticket person who deals with it, and immediately goes, you're okay. I explained what happened, and he was like, you're okay because of the fact that the lights weren't flashing. The sign just kind of went out.
My God, you're a Karen. This is awful. So how much was the paralegal?
Like $350.
So you're not winning. And
I don't think I should have won. I made a mistake and I made a bad decision, but I will say that I did follow the person in front of me, and there was discrepancy. And
are you sorry for your mistake though? And when a bus is stopped and there are children's lives at stake, will you stop your fucking car now?
Never. No, I'm kidding. Of course I would. Oh, it really, really upset me that happened. It really upset me. And the last thing I would ever want to do is put anybody in danger, let alone kids.
That's a bad news headline.
Just don't put me in a car in the morning.
with
That's-
a mascot and a dog.
and a barking dog and a shark, giant shark head beside me.
Well, on that note, my love, I gotta go, but I could talk to you every day for the rest of my life. I love and adore you. Please.
You. Thank you. And you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank
You
you.
look absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, let's hang out soon.
Yes.
How do we follow you? Do we just go to your website? How do people keep up with where you're going next?
I would like for people to help me keep up with where I'm going, because I don't know where I'm going ever. But I'm on social media at Laurie Elliott, like LaurieElliott. That's my Instagram. And then I'm on Facebook and Twitter at The Floating Head. I don't know why I used to take pictures of where it looked like my head was just floating around. And then that was me saying, oh, it'll be a great idea to have that my Twitter handle, because no one will be able to find me. And that's still there. So yeah.
You're like the great Baron Munchausen or something like that. Like,
I know.
okay.
But thank you so much. This was very, very fun. And I feel weird about telling my ticket story, but it happened. And
Hey, I've been in a couple car accidents as well, so we all love it. It's great. It's so much fun, and I love that you still drive me. So cool.
yeah, I'm way better now. And you said it. You said it. Very close to the wheel, looking for buses.
And no dogs. So great.
Yeah.
Well, darling, if I can ask you to say it loud, say it proud. I love Newsload.
I love Newsload. I love Newsload.
You're amazing. I love and adore you. Can't wait to see you soon. Bye, honey.
Bye, Carrie, and thank you. Yeah.
This is the Newsload.